What do you make of this case? There's a lot of conspiracies to have.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you will not I bet you by the end of today this will be confirmed. He's not working alone. There is no way that his wife wasn't involved. How did he escaped the police on foot? Who brought him his car? Then you have video of his roommate randomly breaking out the window in one of his vehicles used to commit the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he break that window out? Were they going to say the vehicle was stolen? The picture of the Ring camera with the mask doesn't even look like him. There are more twists and turns in this case than even the Iowa 4 or 5 or whatever right now. Yeah, what do you make of it?
It's such a bizarre story. I mean, obviously, I think we were all prepped for this weekend to be massive protest coverage, right? The No King stuff. I thought that was all I was going to hear about. And so to kick off Saturday with this story that's even hard to explain to people. Like when you say 2 lawmakers in Minnesota were attacked, one fatally along with her husband, and then also the other lawmaker's spouse. Those 2 are injured. Like just getting the words out is complicated. I mean, from the beginning, the idea that this person, that the same attacker had fatally, or the first couple was not fatally attacked, they were hospitalized, and then had gone to a different town and fatally attacked a different lawmaker and her husband.
By the way, after having a shootout with cops.
And then at one point went home, apparently didn't tell his roommates anything. That's what they're alleging. And then also evaded capture for days. His wife and his children are somewhere upstate. You couldn't get through explaining this to someone, even from the beginning, without it getting convoluted and weird.
Well, what about the fact that he has a 7-bedroom sprawling home, but lives in a halfway house?
It's weird. I mean, they're
with
saying
2 roommates. What the
with
hell?
Papa John's delivery driver who says absolutely Trump. He was a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he has the No King stuff in his car. I mean, obviously, in some ways, I think the political affiliation of this is the big distraction. Like everyone wants to point fingers and say he was motivated by your side. No, he was motivated by the other side. You're seeing the stuff of his lists with pro-abortion politicians. And I believe his affiliation with different churches, the fact that he's gone on mission trips has sort of come up. I mean, one of them was saying he came back from, a mission trip to Africa and seemed very different.
Yeah, he went insane. He got
radicalized there, or maybe had some sort of mental breakdown. It's not really clear.
Well, he lost his USAID funding is what people are saying.
Right.
What about the fact that he bought a church?
Mm-hmm.
He bought a church. It.
You broke up there for a little bit.
Oh, sorry. He bought a church in Iowa, was renovating it, and then what the hell was he doing living in a crack den?
Yeah. He also had a international fake security company.
Right.
And was allegedly in Africa where he was trying to get close to Islamic fundamentalists.
Yes, correct.
So, bing, bing, bing. Alex Jones says that this is all the hallmarkers of MK Ultra, which I don't think we have any evidence proving that. But I think, listen, with just how weird politics is, anything is possible.
But the question is this politically motivated? Which I'm not saying it's not. Just option one, there's some sort of weird, warped political ideology. I don't think it fits clearly into any box. Or is this a true crazy person who has somehow, I think, roped his wife into it and decided this was the time to carry out some sort of complicated attack that it's not totally clear what the purpose or what they were trying to achieve was?
Well, Data Republican thinks that this guy's just always craved an audience. And when he lost his USAID money or whatever, he snapped and thought, hey, this is a great way to kind of become famous. That does track with the fact that he didn't self-exit.
Mm-hmm.
I was 100% convinced there's no way he was taken alive. Even when they reported that there were gunshots at 2 a.m. from the forest where they found him, what was he faking it? This guy's like John Rambo.
Yeah.
The biggest question is, he goes to the second house, engages in a shootout with police outside of the house, kicks the door down, dodges a hail of gunfire, then kills 2 people, then runs out the back door and somehow gets to his car. Somebody picked him up. This is at 6 a.m. He evaded all police. I don't understand. It's like somebody had to have been waiting. Like he was going to leave the car or something.
And maybe there's more information about him than I know at this point, but it doesn't seem like he's particularly tactically trained. I mean,
he's overweight and he's in his 60s.
Mm-hmm. Also, to be on the run, like for I mean, what was it in the end? Several days,
almost 2 full days.
And so you have a secret sandwich stashed in your mask or whatever. Like, to me, that would indicate that he had somewhere to run to, or
he had money.
Somewhere else.
The government, he stopped to get gas money, and I'm sure he bought like food and stuff from the gas station. This is the most insane case I can ever think of seeing in my life. And he was taken alive, which
also means we could hear from him hypothetically, right? Like, he's gonna have to enter a plea. I mean, we heard from we never heard anything from Wesley Routh. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but yes, I mean, I guess it's more possible than not possible if he was dead. Especially if the person who said, he's always craved an audience, like, if you are, for whatever reason, deciding to do these horrible acts and now you're alive and there's media attention, like, if it's an ego-driven thing, if there's a narcissistic personality disorder or whatever it is, I find it hard to believe that you're not going to take your first opportunity to, give some
release
kind
a
of
statement.
Public press. I assume that will make it hard to have some sort of defense attorney who's going to be like, no, you absolutely cannot take the stand. And he's going to be like, I'm doing it anyways.
Yeah, he'll end up defending himself.
Oh, good, because that always works out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people that do this, Ted Bundy did that. Ted Bundy did that. He actually did an okay job. People say in the beginning, like, he kind of fell apart in the end, but
the charges are also kind of weird here too.
They said they weren't premeditated.
Yeah, it's not, which is weird.
How could this not be premeditated? Like,
and the bail is like $500. It's like $5 million, I think.
Yeah, that's actually a conceivable number. That means he only needs $500K to get out. That's not very much money. I mean, his house is probably worth more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he could use his house as collateral and probably be out, which is actually crazy.
Yep.
What did you think of Walt immediately coming out and saying this was a politically motivated political assassination?
Well, I mean, I think it's hard to deny that, given who was targeted. But
at the time, it's not that I think he was necessarily wrong to say it, but I was surprised that he gave such a bold statement. I feel like so many times, especially if the man hasn't been caught or the suspect hasn't been caught, you wouldn't necessarily want to be like, okay, so there's a random guy attacking politicians, which means that this could get, how many members of the Minnesota State Assembly are there? Probably at least 100, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Be like, and he's on the run. It in some ways felt kind of, I don't know, emotional maybe on Walt's behalf. I mean, I would have expected some sort of like, please stay calm, we're still gathering information. Now, maybe it's good that he just addressed the political assassination side of it first. It's hard to say. Yeah, but what do you make of Luke? What do you make of the fact that they are selectively releasing names on the list, and they have said that he has a manifesto, but it doesn't have to do. Yeah, he has the manifesto, but it doesn't have anything to do with the crime. Isn't a manifesto the very definition of explaining why you're doing what you're doing? Yeah. And we know that one other time they didn't release the manifesto was in Nashville. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was politically inconvenient for the current political party in charge right now, and the current thing that they tried to force on everybody. So there's so many weird anomalies here. Manifesto, no manifesto. He was a Democrat, no, he was a conservative. I think people are just gonna. I mean, the more you really research this story, the more you find out about it, the stranger this whole thing becomes. Yes. Well, I mean, even to your point, if they're charging him with saying it wasn't premeditated, he just had a spare manifesto for some other sort of political idea. Like, yeah, and posters that he had planned on putting. He put the posters on the doors. Not many people reported that. But it's not premeditated. He just happened to have those posters with him. Like, what does that mean? I think, by the way, it's crazy or not, I think everyone was involved. I think his roommate knew. I think his roommate probably picked him up. His roommate showed his phone to police, but read the text from him, but would not show his phone.
to the police or the reporters. My question is, why the hell hasn't the FBI seized his phone by now? They found and this guy just won't shut up.
No, he's in so many interviews.
Yeah, and him breaking the window. Give me any reason. At 6 a.m. that day, he walked out, broke the window out of the. Somebody told him to do that. There is no doubt in my mind. He went, retrieved the hammer, broke the window, got something out of the car. What did he get out of that car? And why is he doing interviews? Why isn't he in police custody? It's very weird. It's like crappy cops. Why isn't this guy in custody? Did they? I know they initially
clear him so quickly, I guess is the question. Hypothetically, everyone is treated as a suspect until they can prove otherwise. Also, I suspect they would have been like, please don't speak to the media. I mean, he doesn't have to listen to the cops, but he's definitely doing some sort of press tour.
Somebody tell me a reason for why he broke that window out at 6 a.m.
That makes no sense at all.
He doesn't do that if he's not told to do that. It's not part of the plan, or he realized oh shit, I have some incriminating stuff in the car. The cops are going to show. It might have been just some weed or something. I don't know, but he knew what was going on. I think that they planned it together. This man had significant planning. He had purchased the uniform, the mask. He had figured out the addresses of these, presumably all 80 people on his list. He had enough flyers to leave at every house. In his mind, he thought he was going to get them all. And the most importantly,
he thought he was going to get them all in a 24-hour spree? That's
yeah, I mean,
crazy.
He didn't even get to the second one before police were waiting at the house.
Right.
And I don't know, what and he also killed their dog too. So I hope they give him the death penalty. But
Golden
does it have the death penalty? I feel like we don't.
Golden retrievers are so nice.
Golden retriever. Yeah, it was not an attack dog. It was a rescue dog. I just don't know. Somebody picked him up at 6 a.m. That man, this man somehow evaded all police capture for days. There was a police officer on the scene exchanging gunfire with him. He ran out the back door. There wasn't a single chopper up. There wasn't a single other unit in the area. Bullshit. Did he break into a car and he knew how to hotwire it? And it's this guy, John Rambo. There is something very, very, very off about this case.
Do you think that the authorities are trying to quiet the idea that there would be anyone else involved because they're afraid of either copycats or public fear?
I don't know. I think they're just shitty cops. I think these are small town cops that aren't used to dealing with this kind of stuff. How could this guy, how they caught him? He showed up on somebody's trail cam. If that person didn't have a trail cam, they probably would never have found him. Although they saw his car abandoned, pretty plain sight. You could see the car. Somebody was going to be like, hey, there's a car out there.
Well, and I hate to say this because it's morbid, but if they didn't catch him, I assume he would have continued on his list. I would think. Thank God he wasn't able to, but he apparently had some kind of purpose and motive.
How does he escape that initial exchange of gunfire with the police? He left his vehicle, so he was on foot in a neighborhood that was hours from where he was caught. How did he get another car? And then his wife, a car full of guns, money, and passports. What's happening here?
Yep.
They
the weirdest one
they were
to me.
all in on it. The wife was in on it for sure. Mm-hmm. He called the wife. He said, "Get my go bag." They let him withdraw money. He went to I don't know if it was a bank or a gas station, but he withdrew money. I can't remember. Do either of you guys know?
I think it was at a gas station, but let me double check.
I'm not sure. I just sent you. I think you got a leak of the manifesto. I just sent it to you.
Oh yeah, this is enlightening. Yeah, this is enlightening. Here we go. All right, so let's give it a read.
From the government because they are so honest, and transparent. And then I sent you a clip from the police department that made a statement about this manifesto.
or non-manifesto.
Yes.
Just thoughts.
It was also weird. Like his body composition looks different than it did.
It doesn't look like that's the same guy on camera.
Right.
Well, it's also like a Ring camera, so
It could be wide
frame
angle,
is kind of
yeah.
like distorted and it's at a different angle. But from that angle and from that clip, he looks totally different with his body composition.
It just seems crazy. Like the timeline is so crazy that it's hard not to think that he planned this secretly and just happened to put whatever in his wife's car, and she doesn't know anything, and his roommates know nothing, and also he's very fast and good at surviving and also very like stealthy, I guess. Like the stars are lining up too much. On the other hand, he does seem the political motivation doesn't seem totally clear to me. He definitely has certain political, like it seems like he's kind of muddled. Which
Isn't
again,
it funny
to
that
me
we
is
had
like, you're deranged.
we had allegedly a deranged pro-lifer, and then just 2 weeks ago we had a deranged anti-lifer.
Yeah.
Like blow up an IVF clinic.
Yeah.
Here's that video. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about the manifesto?
They're asking about the manifesto.
We're told that there might be some choice of lawmakers on this manifesto. That has anything to do with the motivation here?
At this point in time, it'd be premature. The question was, is the manifesto and the information that we have received, is their motivations? We are working diligently on that. There's certainly some indications within that, but there's not specifics enough. We have been, this is a very active and fluid investigation throughout.
Now, one thing you could argue is that they're not going to release a manifesto while they're still literally looking for the guy.
Sure.
That, that part, but it should be out today. Like, we should have it now.
But we're not going to get it for sure.
No way.
Yeah.
And what we do get will be, they'll release some parts that's convenient. That pushes their narrative. I don't doubt that he had Ilhan Omar on the list. But is it just that he printed off a list of every politician?
Mm-hmm.
Like, were there Republicans on the list?
Allegedly 60 Democratic politicians, allegedly.
Well, and
Yeah.
is this a list that he Googled who takes money from this organization, who has voted this way on this bill, and made this list, or did he individually compile the names? I think that speaks to the state of mind.
Yeah. I think he said it was, I think somebody said it was handwritten or something like that too. I don't know. It's very weird. MK Ultra, maybe. I don't know. This is going to be another guy. Well, we don't have anything on him. He didn't have a social media platform.
He literally never existed before Friday.
Right. And he had all these shell corporations. He had like that Red Lion, which never actually did any work. It was just a shell corporation. Data Republican revealed that it looked like he was money laundering, buying properties and doing quit deeds or whatever, quick to do that kind of it's all very weird.
Super strange.
I'm gonna
But
ask. Go ahead.
Very weird then that he was also taken alive.
That's not what I expected at all.
That's not what I expected at all. And
Yeah.
it's hard for me not to think that we won't get some kind of commentary from him.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see.